in my experience of marriage, it totally makes sense. Like how many conflicts come down to, I want it this way. Well, I want it that way. I never want to hear you say that you want it that way because I want it that way. Like that makes total sense to me. Like that is a real conversation that has happened in my house. You know?
Oh yeah.
Like so, you have this desire between you. You love each other. You want each other, but you know, maybe you're married now, or maybe you're just further along in your relationship and you're starting to work on some issues and you realize like, oh, we're not 100% compatible all the time. And how do you start to work through these times when you realize, oh, we love each other, but now we're two worlds apart. There seems like there's something between us. And so I'm hoping that maybe you can give us some advice from your practice. You know, let's say a couple comes in and it's just kind of they're disagreeing in kind of an unhealthy way about different things that they want, just kind of normal everyday things. Do you have anything you can speak to that?
Yeah, the first thing I would say is that's totally normal. Like you said, it's for every relationship. It's, you know, it's true because that is the experience that if you're going to have more than one person involved in a situation, there's going to be a disagreement inevitably. And so I think a lot of people assume that, you know, a good relationship means I never argue or I never have a disagreement. And that's not true. It's really about how you argue, how the disagreement occurs that makes the difference. But yeah, I think there's some really cool concepts out there. Dr. John Gottman, I'm a huge fan of him. I've done several trainings with him. Yeah. And he talks about this concept of solvable versus insolvable problems. And the statistic is crazy. I think it's like 69% of problems in a relationship, he would say, are unsolvable.
Whoa.
And so when you find yourself having those arguments over and over again, like one of you is always on time, one of you is always late, one of you is the morning person, one of you is the night person, and you get frustrated, you say, look, I told you 100 times, can we please just be on time? Like just once, please. That is something that would be considered unsolvable.
Okay.
And maybe more in tune with somebody's personality and the traits that they have. And so the shift is, again, shifting to how do we have a conversation around that unsolvable problem, as opposed to interpreting it as this is, you know, you're doing this on purpose, or interpreting as you must not care enough about me to want to change this.
Yeah, or you disrespect me.
Exactly. You disrespect me. And so when we can change our perspective in that way and really get to the deeper meaning behind it, why do I care about being on time? Why do I value that so much? And what is it about me that's making me so frustrated? What have I told myself about being on time or being late, really, that's making me so upset? And so when we can tap into those things, then that helps smooth the conversation a lot more. So I would just tell people, another thing I would say too, I'm kind of tangenting here.
No, that's fine.
So a lot of times people will think, well, I'll just use my own self as an example, but, I could look at another gentleman or another relationship and say, well, Mark's on time, maybe I should be with him because he's on time, then I'll solve all my problems. I can be on time to everything. And what people don't realize is that might very well be true. I could go leave my current relationship and go be with Mark, and we could be on time to everything together for the rest of our lives. However, Mark has his own set of problems that I will then have to deal with that are going to be different than in my current relationship. And so you might be avoiding and changing one problem, but each relationship and each person comes with their own set of problems that are going to rise up